or welcome to my channel if this is your first time seeing me. My name is Hope. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about my Playlist Live experience, but before I do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please, please, please. It helps out so much more than you understand. And make sure to comment and like this video. Also share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook. Let's jump right on into it. So 2 weeks ago, me and my friends Jess and Abby went to Playlist Live in DC. We got there, we put all of our stuff in our rooms, and then we instantly went down into the lobby to see if there was anyone down there and to meet up with some of our friends and everything. So right away, probably within like 20 minutes of us being down there, we ran into Jay Cyrus. And I know that a lot of people don't know who he is, but he is one of the sweetest people ever, so definitely go check him out if you get the chance. We stood there and we talked to him for a little bit. We got our pictures, which all of my pictures are, well, most of my pictures are on my Instagram, and all of them are on my Twitter already, so make sure you go check those out. I'll leave them in the description below. But continuing on, we were just kind of sitting there for a while, and like there wasn't really anyone outside yet. It was kind of still early, and especially because Friday is kind of like the business day and like it's not for everyone. So we were just kind of hanging out in the lobby waiting to see who we would see. And as we're sitting there, me and Jess are sitting down on this like stair type thing, and our friend Abby goes, "Is that Christine?" So we get up and we look behind us, and we're looking and we see her bun and her visor, and we're like, "Oh my god, that's Christine." So we all instantly jumped up. Jess started crying, like actually started crying. So we ran over, we got a picture with her. She started getting mobbed, so I felt kind of bad, but we got our pictures and then we just walked away. And that was honestly so great. Like, Jess lost her mind. She started crying, and it was so cool to finally see Christine. That was the first time that we saw her. So then we were just kind of hanging out in the lobby again. We saw Bryce Hall, we saw Noah Grossman, we saw Nick Fleetwood. As we're sitting there, Jess looks at me and goes, "Hope, stand up and look behind you. Dodie is standing behind you." So I instantly started bawling my eyes out. Like, I didn't know what to do. I have never been like starstruck before until that moment. Like, I've watched Dodie for the longest time, and her music helps me so much. And the couple weeks leading up to Playlist DC, I was trying to get her to write out my tattoo. So like my mind was all over the place whenever she said that Dodie was behind me. I didn't know what to do. She literally had to like pick me up and push me over to her. So I finally got to talk to her, and I will include the whole video clip of that.
Okay. Something so kind. Hello, so sweet.
And it's going to be like your cover is going to be that with like I don't know how to explain it, with like planets and stuff around it. Like, you know how in cartoons if someone gets hit in the head, they have the circles with the planets around. It's going to be that, and then I have a secret for that, and
Oh my god!
I really want you to write that out for me so I can get that tattoo.
Oh god!
I don't know if we can find a piece of paper and a pen.
Oh my god, I've been like trying to collect tattoo ideas as well.
Yeah.
What means something to you when I get it on my skin, because this helps me so much.
I love that, by the way.
Every time I feel like shit, I'm like, you know what? Everyone needs.
I have a couple.
You're queen of tattoos.
Oh my god, is that new?
Yeah.
It is brand new.
We're matching.
Oh my god! Why? How come?
I'm
What's it
underage.
mean?
It's the coordinates to Los Angeles.
The center of Los Angeles, and it's a
Damn, I need
garden.
that. I love that. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's
cute.
so sweet.
Hey, you have a
Actually,
Are we like?
oh my god, thank you so much.
Actually, it's only been like a year and a half.
Yeah.
I only met you guys like
You know,
what
it's like,
year?
it's good then. What do you want me to write?
I bet it's either for that and a little bit of time to make it hurt so bad.
Only chance for you.
Oh no, it's perfect. It's fine.
You're very calm and you're like, sir, stand up.
I was like, well, because I know if she would have seen her, she would have been like, oh, I'm so
Oh my
sorry.
god, I was
to
gonna
say
say
that
you're
girl.
smacked.
Oh my god.
She didn't even notice.
I definitely will. I'll probably get it done, not this week because my sister's wedding, but the week after. So
My sister's wedding.
I'm definitely tweeting pictures. There'll be a lot. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Friday was kind of the more chill day, so we decided to go over to CVS because Abby forgot all of her makeup, so she wanted to go and buy some. So we walked over to CVS, and while we were there, Christine and Elijah tweeted that they were having a meetup in the park that was like 2 minutes down the street from where we were. So me and Jess were screaming at Abby in the CVS. We were like, hurry up, get your makeup, let's go, like we have to go to this meetup. So we booked it there, we ran there, and by the time we got there, there was only I think 3 other people there, but Christine was laying on the ground with her ankle up.
Yeah, this is.
Wait, this is how you like spell.
That's true.
This like makes sense. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm literate.
Because she fractured it, I think it was. She had a hairline fracture, but at the time we all honestly thought she was joking. Like, we didn't think she was actually hurt. We're all just sitting there, and at one point Elijah decided to vlog and make us go in a circle and tell like one thing that we're thankful for. So me and Jess and Abby all ended up in the vlog, and I will leave that video in the description below also, so you can go and watch that. But that was probably one of the funniest experiences ever. And there was a guy there, his name is Spiritual Cowboy. I don't know what his real name is, to be honest. I know he's Golden's brother, but I don't know what his name is. But he came up with Starbucks and was using his Starbucks drink to ice Christine's ankle.
Put good vibes into it. Good vibes into the Starbucks cup.
I'm laughing, but I don't know the joke.
It was one of the like weirdest but funniest experiences ever. It was so cool, like, to see them just like in their natural habitat, I guess you could say, like, because like a lot of the times you see these YouTubers and stuff, and they're not always how they act in their videos, but Christine and Elijah definitely were, like, no doubt. After that, we kind of left, and then we went and sat up in the hotel room for a little bit, actually, because there wasn't really anything going on in the lobby. So we're all sitting there. It's getting later at night. It's probably like 11 o'clock by now. My friend Jordan texted me and goes, Sam and Colby. That's all she said, because I told her to keep me updated if there was anyone in the lobby. We jumped out of bed so quick. We were all in our pajamas. We all took off our makeup. We jumped out of bed so quick and literally bolted down there. Like, I ran down to the lobby so quick. So we got there and we went over to where she was standing, and it was right by where everyone was going up and down the escalator for the creator party. So as we're standing there, we got to see Ryan Abe, we got to see Bradley Wanamaker, and like, those were our 2 main people that we were waiting for that day to, like, we knew that they were there. They tweeted that they were there, but we hadn't seen them yet. So we were waiting to see them in the lobby for hours, and we didn't. So we finally got to see them, and they were so sweet. And Bradley was so drunk. It was so funny. Like, he walked up to us, and I gave him the biggest hug ever. And then we wanted to see his hair to see what color it was, and he was like, oh no, it's ugly, it looks so bad right now. So we made him take off his hat, and it was still blue from whenever Brennan dyed it, but it didn't look bad at all. So I don't know what he was talking about. But and then after, I think it was after Bradley, Ryan came up, and I don't know if any of you guys follow Ryan Abe, but he did a hat giveaway on his Instagram a little while ago, and I was actually the winner of it. So he was originally going to mail the hat to me, but I told him I was going to be at Playlist DC, so he could just bring it to me then. So that's all. I'll get to like more detail into that later, but right as he walked up, I told him, I was like, I'm the one that won the hat from you. He was like, oh yeah, I have your hat, it's in my hotel room, like, I'll get it to you eventually, I promise, I'll DM you, don't worry. So we stood there, we talked to him for a little bit. He was with the Merrill twins, but we didn't get a picture with them because they were kind of like being rushed out for some reason. And then after that, Sam and Colby came up, but that will be in another video, probably in a week from now, so make sure you check that one out also. Then after that, we kind of just went upstairs and went to bed, and then day 2 came around, and the very first thing in the morning on day 2 was Ricky Dillon's panel, Q&A, whatever you want to call it. but he is one of the sweetest human beings ever, and we were front row for it. And every time that they would ask him a question, me and Jess kind of instantly answer the questions, so we were like saying stuff under our breath the whole time, and Ricky started acknowledging us and calling us his subconscious because we were saying like all of the things that he wasn't saying, I guess. His Q&A was really awesome. Like, he is so sweet, and I can't wait for his new music that's about to come out. He hyped up the music video a lot during that panel, so it better be good, which I don't have any doubt that it won't be. But so after that was Elijah and Christine's big Q&A panel on the main stage, so we went over there, and that was insane. The crowd that was there was ridiculous. People were literally shoving people for seats for this. Like, it was insane. So we ended up getting, I think it was like second or third row we ended up getting, and they brought Christine out in a wheelchair, and I was dying. It was so funny.
All right, here she is, the president of the Barbra Streisand Fan Club.
It was a good Q&A and panel, but like the playlist spokesperson, I guess you could say, kind of ruined it because he came out on stage and made them play this dumb game. It was like the whisper challenge type thing, but it was so stupid, and Christine and Elijah were not into it at all, and you could tell that they weren't. So like, it made it a little bit awkward, but they obviously still made it funny because it's Christine and Elijah. So, and Matt King was like the person reading off the questions, and like, it was really cool. They're so funny. They're so funny. Oh God. So we roamed around a little bit, and then we went to Corinna's Q&A panel thing where Elijah was the one asking her the questions, but she had some surprise guests with her too, which ended up being Christine, Bradley, and then Mario and Weston.
Yep, you're gonna go right back out the door. That's the. Yeah, right there. You on microphone?
I brought a lot of people with me.
Oh yeah, we brought a lot of gays.
True.
Can you just bring them all out now, or do you want to answer questions? All right. Oh, see, they already have their hands up. Girl with a lot of bracelets on.
Huh?
The girl with a lot of bracelets, she's coming.
The entire time, it was just a constant like shade being thrown at Team 10 and at this YouTuber and at that YouTuber, and it was the greatest panel and Q&A that I've ever seen. And we went to VidCon too, but this panel was the greatest thing ever. And Bradley and Christine, I don't know what happened, but they were sitting there dying of laughter at one point.
I was wearing a bathing suit, I was going to the beach, I put my phone in my pocket, they fell out. Like, my bathing suit fell right down in the aisle at a Dollar Tree.
What happened? They're just having their own like party over here. What the hell's going on?
Me and Bradley had a couple of moments, and I'll make sure to include clips of that.
Bradley.
I think green jacket.
After the Corinna Q&A and everything was Sam and Colby's meetup, and that was also with Gabe Irwin, Matt Smith, the Bell Twins, and then three other people, and I'm not really sure what their names were, and I feel really bad, but like, they were all super sweet. Gabe Irwin is seriously so sweet. Like, he's one of the most underrated people ever. He remembered me and Jess from VidCon, which was absolutely insane, but he remembered us, and now we have like a little inside joke. So when you watch this, go tweet Gabe Irwin, just say Patrick. That's it. Just say hi Patrick or something. Just call him Patrick. After the Sam and Colby meetup, we didn't have anything else planned really, and like, there wasn't any more Q&As or panels or performances that we wanted to go to, so we decided to just go walk around outside and kind of explore DC. And right as we walk outside, we walk to the corner, and Matt King is there hanging out with his girlfriend. So we stopped and we talked to him for a little bit and got some pictures with him, and he is seriously so sweet. He is one of the sweetest people I've ever met. Like, he deserves the world. So we just spent some more time walking around, and then we like did a loop around, and when we were coming back, we ran into Elijah and Christine again for like the 50th time already since we were at Playlist. But they were always super nice. Like, they're so funny, and they're so genuinely funny and nice, and that's so rare, I feel like, in the YouTube world. But they were wonderful. Like, wow, I couldn't have asked for like a better experience with them, honestly. And then we were sitting outside and just sitting on the curb outside, and Ryan finally DM'd me and goes, "What floor are you on?" So at this point, we're still sitting outside, but he needed to know like our floor and room number, so we booked it up there. And for some reason, there weren't stairs. You couldn't get to the stairs from outside, so we had to wait for the elevator, which was so packed. We finally got up to the floor, and then he went up the other elevator, so we were on opposite sides trying to find each other. He asked my room number finally, so I told him, so we kind of like met in the middle. He hand delivered his hat to me. Like, literally, when would your fave ever? Like, he literally took the time to stop what he was doing, and I think he was at a party at the time, and he took the time to stop and make sure that he got the hat to me. So then, day 3, it was the last day. It was so sad, but the very first thing was Sam and Colby's Q&A panel thing with the Bell twins, and Christine and Elijah were supposed to be there, but they didn't show up, and I was so upset about it, but like, I still understand because they probably were up late partying and having a good time, and props to them for doing that. Like, I'm not mad about it. We still got to see Sam and Colby and the Bell twins, which was awesome. And then after that, we went to James Charles' panel and Q&A, and like, I was never really super big like into James. Like, I like him, but I'm not like obsessed with him. But after his panel, I honestly, like, I instantly went and subscribed. I watch his videos all the time now. Like, he is so sweet and kind of like down to earth and funny.
Started doing makeup, a big conversation with my parents was that they didn't really understand it, which for living in a upstate New York, suburban, all white people, no diversity, really boring ass town, was, as gross as it sounds, it was a fair question for them to ask because they really weren't exposed to a lot of different things. And my parents...
After that was the Christine and Elijah meetup with Corinna, Matt, Jay Cyrus, and every single one of them are so sweet, and they all took the time to actually talk to everyone, which I appreciate so much, because usually it's just like, okay, picture go, like, oh, autograph, video, and then they just send them off. But they genuinely stood there and talked to you, and we got some tea on Corinna, but I'm not gonna expose her like that because that's rude. And the whole entire time we were in this meetup, all I could think about was Dodie's performance afterwards, and I was so scared that we weren't going to make it to it, because if you know me, you know how much I love Dodie. She is one of the sweetest people ever. After Christine and Elijah's meetup, we headed over to Dodie's performance, and that was the first time I got to see her really perform, because at VidCon I only got to see her for like 2 minutes because there was so much going on. So I literally like cried the whole entire time, because like, she's just such a sweet person, and her music is so good, and she is so underrated, so please go check her out.
How is it I've never felt that way before? Oh, I was so sure. Oh, it wasn't gonna be. Oh, would you be so kind as to fall in love with me? You see, I'm trying. I know you know that I like you, but that's not enough. So if you will, please fall in love. I think it's only fair. There's gotta be some butterflies somewhere. Wanna share, cause I like you.
After Dodie's performance, there wasn't anything else. Like, that was the end of it. That was the end of playlist and everything. So we were just kind of hanging out in the lobby, walking around outside, just literally just hanging out. And at this point, we didn't know if we were staying Sunday night or not. We originally didn't plan on it, so we did not have a hotel room to stay in. So luckily, my friend Melanie, God bless her, let us stay in her room, and we were able to stay Sunday night and Monday morning. That night, we're just all, me, Jess, and Abby are sitting in the lobby, and we're all literally about to fall asleep. It's probably like 11 o'clock, maybe 12 at this point, and we are all just exhausted, and we're sitting at the table in the lobby, and Jess is on her Snapchat, and she's looking at her Snapchat stories, pulls up Corinna's. Corinna posts party in room 6086. that was the room that we were staying in, like where Melanie is letting us stay. We grabbed all of our stuff so quick and literally ran up there. I knocked on the door because my room key wasn't working. Melanie opens the door and goes, "Don't freak out." I was like, I already know what's happening. Like, we know that there's a party going on right now. So we walked in, and there's Corinna on the bed jumping around, screaming and dancing, Cody Ryle, Jack Dale, and the Merrill twins all dancing back in the back of the room. And right as we walked in, it was like everyone started screaming. Every time someone would come in, everyone just started cheering. So because Corinna posted like party in this room and she said the specific room number, a ton of people started showing up and it got packed. Like, we were not able to move. Like, you couldn't like shift like side to side like this. Like, there was no room in that room. Like, you were pressed up against each other.
All these bitches crawl. Ah, ski ski motherfucker. Ah, ski ski goddamn. Ah, ski ski motherfucker. Ah, ski ski goddamn. You say, mouth wide open, mouth wide open, mouth wide open like I was at the dentist. Mouth wide open, mouth wide open. We're so deep I can't speak a sentence.
One of the most fun experiences of my life. Like, that could not have been a better way to end Playlist, and I mean that so genuinely. Like, it was so cool getting to party with some of my favorite YouTubers. I never thought in a million years that I'd be partying in a hotel room with Corinna, Cody Ryle, Jack Dale, the Merrill twins. Like, that's not something you expect to happen when you go to these events, but it was so cool. And like, Corinna is so nice. So she ended the party. She was like, okay, it's getting too packed. I don't want you guys getting in trouble. So she made everyone leave. And not even 10 minutes after she made everyone leave, security comes knocking on the door and is like, we have gotten tons of calls complaining about this room. This is your first warning. You won't get a second warning. If we have to come up to this room again, you will be asked to leave. So that was insane, but it was totally worth it. So then the rest of the night we just kind of spent roaming around the hotel. We went outside and just kind of hung out with everyone and enjoyed like our time there, and got some more tea, but can't say anything about that. But yeah, so Playlist Live was pretty amazing, and I definitely want to try going to Orlando too, but I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off because we are going to VidCon again. So I don't know, I guess we will see. But thank you very much for watching my video. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow on my social media in the description below. And yeah, that is all. Thank you guys very much. I love you, and that's it. Bye.